Whoever's there, just waiting for it to be 2. So say hi in the chat if you want. Okay, so it's 2. Hi, my name is Rochelle, and I have a blog and a website called Feeding a Crowd. And I want to more or less spend time with the people that are as passionate about food as me. So I'm here on YouTube. Hopefully someday I'll do Facebook or Instagram. But here's where I want to start doing lives and chat with the people that want to chat with me. Hopefully everything's fine and everyone can hear me because I wouldn't know. So here you go. And I lost the chat. I don't know why, but here goes. I hope that you go to my website and subscribe to my newsletter. I send one out every 2 weeks, and in the newsletter, I describe all the recipes I've made. Those I think people should take a look at and try to remain current. So, when it's fall, we do fall recipes, and now it's holidays. The holidays are coming up, so I'm working on holiday recipes. And so I would love to see you guys go to the website and subscribe to the newsletter. It's nice, I find newsletters gives me a chance to get closer to the people that are subscribed. So please do that. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook under Feeding a Crowd. So please see that. Now, if I'd like to have a minute just to see if I can get the chat working. And I don't know why I lost the chat. I had the chat and now I don't, which is not fair. So now I can't even answer questions. So I don't know how to do this. This is so weird. Happened last time, happening again. Do 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 do. Wow, I was gonna say something bad. Yep, I don't know how to get my chat back, so I don't even know. Now I can't see your questions. Wow. So I'm going to have to invent questions. I'm supposed to be able to have the chat. I had it. How did I lose it? Now I'm getting obsessed. Well, I am obsessed. I'm always obsessed. I'm mostly obsessed about food. Anyone knows me knows I'm obsessed about food. So today, if I were to have a chat, I was going to let you guys ask me questions about leftovers, substitutions, and maybe holiday recipes. When we have get-togethers like that, of course, we have people that are vegans, we have people that are gluten-free, we have people that are, have other kinds of allergies, being nut-free. And it's important to just not stress about that. We stress way too much about it because I know I used to. And it took a while for me to just get used to work around, for instance, gluten-free people. Not every recipe ever had flour in them. So you just find food that never had flour in them. And you find ways to have gluten-free food, right? I'm a bread lover. I love pasta. I don't know how I could be gluten-free. So thank God I don't have to be, because I'd be a very sad person. Or I'd find options, right? I would probably find ways to which I don't, like gluten-free pasta or gluten-free bread or gluten-free cake. To me, all of it. None of it has the right mouthfeel to it. But for sure, if I had to make a gluten-free dessert, then I would make a dessert that never had gluten in it. Isn't that like awesome? Panna cotta doesn't have gluten in it. There's all kinds of other desserts that we can think of. For example, torts, which are made with almond flours, don't have gluten in them because you can easily replace. There is a little tiny bit of flour in it, but it's not used as like the main part, right? There's maybe a quarter cup, so you can easily replace that with another kind of flour, probably a gluten-free flour, and you're fine. And not to mention that today's gluten-free flours, the good ones, don't try the cheap ones. They're terrible. They're like gum in your mouth. But the good gluten-free flours are good. And so you could make a torte, you could make panna cotta. So gluten-free is not as daunting as we think it is. You just have to think of recipes that never had gluten. And you're on a roll. For vegan people, I would love to find my chat. I think I would almost close this live down and start over because this is so frustrating. The whole purpose of this live is to be able to talk to you guys, and I can't do that. And I don't know. Oh, I know what happened. Wow, this is such a big learning curve. Okay, so that's okay. There was no one here. But now I know how to use, how to make the live chat work. So yeah, so I was talking about when you meet with the whole family or guests and friends, that you end up with people that are, like I said, gluten free, and I'm going to go with vegan or vegetarian. Vegetarian is easier, but vegan is not that much harder. Not with today's options that we have. We have so many options, and without using tofu or without using fake meat. I am not a big fan of fake meat. I would not use fake meat. To me, if you're vegan or vegetarian, you embrace the fact that you are, right? You don't you to me, if you're still yearning for a hamburger that people think tastes like meat, which it doesn't, then is it really being vegan if you can't embrace it, right? um I don't know. So to me, being vegans, like, because I have been making quite a few meals, vegan meals, and they can be absolutely delicious. I mean, I use butter beans or lima beans, and you can use any kind of kidney beans. You have nutritional yeast you can add to it. I mean, there's so many good options, and vegetables, and, like, just embrace it. And so if someone wants and you need to make a vegan meal, I have one right here in the chat. The caramelized onion white bean soup, stew, is vegan, and it blows your mind. I added I poached salmon on top of mine because I'm eating a lot of salmon right now, and I crave it. But I could have added tofu, or I could have added nothing at all, and the soup, the caramelized onion and white bean soup or stew, is just blew my mind. It's something I'm going to make all winter long, and probably this summer, because it keeps well, it serves well, and I can see it. Just, you bring it somewhere, and you have a stew in a bowl. You have like a full meal, and it's vegan. Can you poach chicken in it? Absolutely. A white fish poach in that stew is probably mind-blowingly delicious, just like the salmon was. So I think with that, when we have people over and they do have all these preferences or allergies, we you don't make a big fuss out of it. Salads are meat free. You have a soup like that, it's fine. If you want bread, if someone doesn't want to eat bread, that's fine too. They can probably bring their own bread they like, and you have normal bread for the rest of the people. You don't make the whole party gluten free. You make quite a few delicious dishes for the people that have exceptions, and they'll move around it. You can have two desserts, or they can bring a dessert that's gluten free or any other nut free if that's their allergy, and you make another one. It's You just learn to go with the flow, because baking and having people over is about enjoying it. If you're not enjoying having people over, then you probably should not be hosting. Oh, that's not true. There's always stress related to hosting. I get a little bit stressed when I'm hosting. um, but I learned to plan ahead. I learned to make sure that I'm enjoying my guests. And whenever I was super stressed and I was having like a really bad time and nothing was coming together, I noticed my guests didn't notice. They did not care. They were just happy to be in a house together with other people that they like. And it was me that was unhappy. It wasn't them. And so my observation was, like, just be happy. Have a happy attitude, have a happy mindset. Like, enjoy your guests. They don't care that some things aren't perfect, that something got burned and is not now being served, that the dishes aren't perfect, that one of the kids, I don't know, spilled their juice all over the well set table, or stepped on. It does not matter. People, you just go with the flow, you have a happy mindset, And the guests feel that if you're like happy, they're happy, and nothing will really matter. If you're stressed, you're stressing out your guests. So have a happy mindset and everything will go fine. Plus, you can ask me any question. I've had hosted so many parties, and there's not one thing that did not happen. Like the stories I could tell, including whole tablecloths catching fire. And we ate without tablecloths. Like, I did not know why we did not think of not having them to start with, when you're having a fondue with fire and seven brothers around the table. For sure there was going to be a fire, which there was. So then we ate the rest of the meal in a, smoke smelling room. And it was just funny. It became part of history, right? We never did have fondue again with all the boys there. We learned our lesson. But yeah, we things happen, and you just go with the flow and you make memories. And that's what hosting is all about. So yeah, so from gluten free to meat free, vegan or vegetarian, there's great meals to be had no matter what you're making. You just need to find a good solid recipe as a base and then move from there, or just keep on making that awesome recipe every time that your guests will love. So yeah, and so let me think what else I have. I would talk about leftovers if people had questions like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do with all my leftover meals?" To me, the next day, have people back over to eat them, or best thing ever, you buy those like Costco Costco plastic leftover boxes, and you send everyone home with leftovers except like the one you want to keep. So everyone goes home with extra food, and you get to have a nice clean fridge with like the one leftover you can't do without, right? Maybe the turkey, some turkey or dessert, whatever you prefer. But yeah, I find that's what I do now. I have like a stack of leftover boxes or plastic containers. And I'm like, no, 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 you can't leave. And they're like, no, we don't want anything. We're full. I don't care. Tomorrow you will not be full. Next option is like, tomorrow I'm going to have brunch, guys. I'm serving all these leftovers. Who wants to come? Right? Or you ask, your brother or sister or your friend, come over with your kids tomorrow and we'll relax, watch movie and set out supper so that's a good way to deal with leftovers. And you can also cook with them. The things I have done with leftovers to change them up: mashed potatoes, they make great mashed potato croquettes. You just add fresh onions to it, cheese, cheddar cheese, and a little bit of flour, an egg, and you form patties, and you cook them in hot oil. And it's like they become little croquettes. And you could add fish to it, become a fish croquette with your mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are good for a lot of things. They're also good, we throw them out a lot, but no, you can actually reuse mashed potatoes in very ingenious way. um, Also, if I don't know if this happens to you, but sometimes you're just home and on a relaxed day and an aunt show up, which is always awesome, or a brother or a sister or your dad or mom, and you actually like didn't really have anything on hand, unless you always have something on hand for like a quick bite or a snack or cookies, a jar of cookies you can just take out and serve with tea, right? So I usually, for the longest time, always had frozen chocolate chip cookie dough in my freezer or fridge. It keeps forever. And then I would make it. I would actually not buy it because it only takes a few minutes to make, and I always had to make a lot. So that always worked. You can also the freezer cookies. I have quite a few good recipes. Shortbread cookies, actually, I did not post in my chat here, but if you can send me an email or ask me anytime, and I'll send you the recipes for the shortbread cookies. And I love marinating vegetables because that too, you make them ahead of time. They'll keep for the whole holiday season. People come over and you just take jars of beautifully marinated vegetables, set them out on the table with some cookies, tea, or soda. Boy, we never drink soda anymore, do we? Ugh. Or soda, water, wine, and you have a really quick snack, especially if you had cheese on hand. So I think that would probably work well. My other, well, I always have biscotti. I always have biscotti on hand. It's so easy. They're so, once you get the knack of making biscotti, well, of course, I mean, I've made them professionally. They're so fun to make. I'm going to be posting my Christmas biscotti. They're made with candied red cherries, so they're like a fruit cake in a biscotti. So I'm going to be working on that this week to show you guys, because you have them on hand during the whole vacation. They're a great gift to give because they stay good forever. And then whoever has them will have a ready snack whenever someone pops over, right? They make a great dessert with panna cotta or a mousse. They're really good for that, and they're great with tea or coffee or booze. They're great, great, great with a sweet wine. So I have quite a few recipes on my website, but I will be featuring the holiday biscotti in the coming weeks. Also, I have a rum cake. Most people have no idea what a rum cake is, but our parents sure did. It was my parents' wedding cake, actually, which is why I made it. I made it because my dad was pining for it, and I had never made it. So I went to the old, old books. I wish I had it here today. Actually, I have it downstairs. But, and I found it, and my dad was shaking with joy. So I made rum cake, and boy, it's boozy. So my version has a bit less booze. Actually, you have the option of putting more booze. So it's like a bundt cake that you heat up the rum. There's rum in the cake, and then you heat up the rum with butter and you pour it into the cake like at different intervals. And of course, now this cake will keep forever, right? It's dosed in rum. It's not my favorite cake, but it's such a treat during the holidays with whipped cream or fresh cream, creme fraiche, creme fraiche, creme fraiche. Yeah, that. It's because it's so sweet. Ice cream would do well too. But it's a real treat. It's moist. It's beautiful. It's boozy. I have tricks because I also heat the rum a bit so it's less boozy. But my dad liked it full booze. So, here's to him. And now I have it on my website. It's very popular during the holidays because you make it and you have it throughout the whole holiday period. It stays fresh. It stays absolutely wonderfully delicious. So, and it's not there, but oh, hi Natalie. What do you marinate the vegetables in? It's uh it's a It's a mixture of red or white wine vinegar, olive oil, oregano, salt, pepper, smoked paprika. So there's different marinades on my recipe. So you have three different marinades for three different sets of vegetables, right? So one is carrot, cauliflower, and celery, which you blanch, and then that's one marinade that you have with it. And I think that's the red wine marinade. And the other one is mushrooms. So you blanch the mushrooms, which I never had done before, and now I do this all the time. You blanch the mushrooms, and that's a different marinade made with this one. I think it's a white wine, or have them reversed. And you add that to the mushrooms with onions, and yeah, it takes maybe 10 minutes to make each marinade. And then the last one, I think I have to look, because I remember that it's three different recipes. So let me look what the third one is. And whenever I brought these, they're so popular. People just love them. It's like they always go away. I always get asked for the recipe, which is why, of course, that I made it and put it on the website, which is, as we know, is why so it's pickled vegetable appetizer. That's a title on my website. And oh, one of them has artichokes and heart of palms. So those are the three different marinades for, yeah. So you have one pickle flavor, which is with lemon juice, celery seeds, smoked paprika, and a bit of powdered mustard. The two has garlic, grated onions, red wine vinegar, grainy mustard, and yeah, Those are the only two I have there. And then there's all the list of vegetables. So you just basically mix whichever one you want in that marinade. And yeah, the options are just, you just, and it just works so well. What happens is that the vegetables stay very crunchy because you only blanch them. They're not cooked and soft and mushy. They're just blanched. And it's very colorful, it's very pretty, and it just has great reviews. So that's, and I love to have those on hand because you're not stressed when people come over. You're actually so not stressed. People say, "How do you do it?" And it's in my brain. I have to stay happy, I have to stay relaxed, and I have to plan. Planning is key to removing the stress. And if I am stressed, this I've been telling everyone around me, especially when they're getting married or they're having a big event, it's like turn your stress to excitement. You're excited you're having guests. You're excited you're going to see people you like. You're excited that you're cooking for them. And that is a thing, you know. And sometimes you're not happy you're cooking to them. It's something that comes with time, that you grow your confidence. And I believe that. I believe in a happy mindset, and I believe that when you're hosting, because hosting can be so difficult when stress makes you so not happy, because a clean house, then you do this and then you do that and you realize you don't have enough dishes and you forgot to buy the napkins, and in the end it doesn't matter. In the end, what matters is having those people around you and hosting them, and you'll see everything will be fine. So um of course, with the festivities comes storage tips. What you do with all those food, how do you keep all those food fresh for so many days, and how what to use, right? I I wanted a food storage thing, the one that removes the air out, right? Of course, I obviously don't have one because I don't even know what it's called exactly. But I did buy the small Zwillig, the one that is like that, and well, I like their brand of knives, so I buy Zwillig knives. I just like them, and I was looking for a machine to keep my food fresh because I like to buy in bulk, like big salmon pieces, meat in bulk, and because it's such a money saver. But I would lose it. If I put it in the freezer and didn't use it, then they would have freezer burn. And it's so upsetting to lose meat to freezer burn. When it's peas, it hurts less. When it's meat, you just feel like you've wasted. So it's just like you might as well just throw 20 bucks on the street. It's just, so I was looking to find a way. And then I saw that on Instagram. It wasn't that brand though. It was just another brand, and I didn't recognize the brand. And I went on, did some research, and I found Zwillig, and I bought it. It's a lot cheaper than the Food Saver. Even the one at Costco, it's called Food Saver. See, it just came back to me. And the bags are so expensive for the Food Saver. It was upsetting. The bags that come with the Zwillig are actually, you put them in the dishwasher. You actually reusable bags, different sizes. And I also have the glass containers now. So I put my fish in it, I remove all the air, no freezer burn. So either the bag, the glass containers, I'm in love with that little machine. It's this big. It's this big. It charges with a phone charger. It works. I haven't charged it since I got it. And I use it every day, absolutely every day. So that's one thing, to find a good way to keep your food fresh. You make it 5 days ahead of time. You prep stuff. You want it to stay crunchy. You want it to stay safe. Food safety is a thing during the holidays. Find something that you like. It doesn't matter what I use, but find something that you're happy with. Else, I mean, freezer bags. I love my Ziploc proof freezer bags. Do I use other qualities? No, I don't like them. They're just not as good. I do use the brand Ziploc when it comes to my freezer bags. Removing the air is not as always easy, but if it's liquid, it's perfect. You can remove all the air and you have a great, great, great food saver in the form of a Ziploc. What else do I do for storage tips? Well, I clean out the fridge before I start all that baking. I remove everything from the fridge. It's like super clean up for every jar of whatever. I'm not sure if it's good or not. It just goes. Luckily, here it's winter. it's going to be cold. If there's something that I can keep out, I could probably do that on the day of the party. I take out like a big cooler and I put the because I need room in the fridge, and I'll use a cooler to keep my food safe. But that's weird. Just I don't know. I do weird stuff sometimes. My other good place, the barbecue. The barbecue in the winter is such a great place to keep food because it keeps it away from animals. Like I don't know, raccoons or curious animals. So I use the barbecue. Yep, 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 as a food storage. I think I'm weird sometimes. And then you know what you need? You need foods that during the holiday you can make or prep or just eat that it's light, it's not filling after overeating, after just all that food. It's important to have to be able to think ahead. Else you'll end up, we all know that. I do that. You end up ordering out. It's not much better food. So I try to think of other light meals. Just think of have things for salads, a roasted chicken and you just make a quick salad. Soups are great when you've eaten too much. Soups with brothy soups, not cream soup. The soup I have here, the white bean soup, the caramelized onion white bean soup is great for that because it can be meat free. It's got a lot of protein because of the white beans. That's a soup you can have on hand. You can serve it and then have on hand because it's a great light meal to have. And this week I discovered something. So here is on to my discovery. Eventually I'm going to have this time. I think every week I want to talk about something I discovered that just make my toes curl. So I eat yogurt bowls and salads a lot because it's just something that balances my system and makes everything happy, right? I'm always looking for ways to add something that's easy, that's delicious, or not necessarily delicious, but easy and packs a punch. This is what it's going to be upside down, but this is what I discovered this week. So happy about it. So, it's not upside down. Hemp hearts. Okay. Seriously, 10 grams of proteins, 12 grams of omegas. You know how omegas are hard to find unless you're feeding your kids cod oil? I don't even think that works anymore, but it's hard to find. If I look at the back of this, there's no sodium. There's 10-gram proteins, which I said. There's 4% fiber. So it's not a big fiber. And this is not in a lot. But you just put a few tablespoons, and this is what you get. You get magnesium, 48%, which is amazing. Folate acid, 11%. Thiamine, 25%. Iron, 22% iron in here. That just makes me so much happier. So hemp heart is my new favorite discovery of the week. This one is made in Canada. I didn't buy the bio because I think this is good enough, and I trust my Canadian cultivators to make this amazing. So, it's gluten free. Look for this. Feed it to your kids. Put it in everything. It's going to help, especially during, winter when things are not as much fun. Not that it has vitamin D. It has a lot of zinc. Oh, this is just crazy good. So yeah, here's to this. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being with me. I really appreciate it. This is going to be streaming. I'm going to edit it because I have a really bad start to my video, but then it'll be streaming. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I'm also on Pinterest. Subscribe to my newsletter. That would just make me happy. And like this video. If you like this video, it really, really helps. It changes everything. YouTube likes it. And the more YouTube likes what I do, the more it'll share me. And it makes a big difference. So just please like it. Please like it. Please subscribe. Every Sunday at 2, I should be here. So see you soon. And take care of yourselves. Email me or message me. Bye. Have a great one.